A Conversation with an Inside Financial Warrior for the Light. By Rob Potter, February 2, 2016. Dear Promise and PFC family. Some time ago I was contacted by a fellow spiritual brother and Kriya Yoga adept who has been involved in the wresting control of the financial system from the Control Network. The names and crimes are too numerous to recount here, but there are many more qualified people out there letting it be known exactly what has gone on. David Wilcock's financial tyranny documents are well documented and profound. I know the insider that briefed him, and he explained many things to me that are just so wrong with how we have been hijacked as a people. American Kabuki chronicled many financial arrests and takedowns. A person intimately involved in the Reno RV process contacted me who was very optimistic a year ago. I have had no contact with them since last March. I have also seen supposedly legitimate documents to the Sandra Romano accounts. These were the main accounts from Marcos family. All of these people are sincere and are saying we are close. As you all know, I am a reluctant financial person reporter. I have been schooled kicking and screaming the whole way. I have personally been around big money and some small amounts here and there in my life. I have issues with money and the extortionists, world governments and international central banks that steal money and plunder the surface population innocents in their Ponzi schemes. They use money to distract us from their theft by psychologically torturing us through a corrupt Satanist system that burdens the human race. I want it exposed and revealed for the slave system it is, so we can heal it and move on. It is the linchpin of the control matrix, and I want a full-on assault of truth fostered by all of humanity to end this madness and take back our sovereignty as people and a planet. This transcript below, thank you Danelle, is a private conversation with names and other personal information redacted. TR is a good man and is sincere and for real. As far as the veracity of his information, I don't know. But as usual, my opinion is that he is the real deal, sincere, and is definitely doing what he says he is. If his group will be successful or if what they are doing is as he states it, only time will tell. My strong suggestion for those of you who are focused on money more than your spiritual orientation to the divine natural laws of the universal life force and spirit is to stop seeking in the material world for your happiness. I would urge you to develop your inner life and inner knowing, as now more than ever before the time is right to pray and to invoke the light and to meditate on your own divine presence. This soul connection is always here now and inside yourself. Seek the light and truth within so you can be prepared in the moment with your presence on your shoulder to guide you in each and every moment. Use discernment to focus on needs more than wants. Without further introduction, here is an interesting conversation with TR. A Conversation with an Inside Financial Warrior for the Light. TR, it's so interesting what's going on, Rob. Absolutely phenomenal. I am working directly with the Sovereign Committee, which is the grandfather Chinese, and they control most of the assets of the world that are part of this, let's say, new system. Rob, are these guys claiming to be hybrid aliens, reptilians? TR, no, not at all. Where would you have heard that? Rob, that's what these royal bloodlines and people are saying. They've been in control of the money and they've ceded power every 70 years to different bloodlines to rule the world. Rob, these are the new guys. TR, it's very interesting you bring that up because 3 times I've been on the phone with some major files. Example, one of them is called the Maihu organization. That is the royal bloodline of the elders, and we underscore. Now we'll consider what you're talking about. I'll give you an idea. This one group, the Maihu, they have about $500 quad of IQD. We've seen underscore. Some of this I is all asset backed, which is tied into gold and oil and other mineral assets. Rob, what is IQD? TR, Iraqi dinar. NID. Iraqi dinar. The reason I'm focusing on NID because that is the first linchpin of the new system. When IQD actually gets announced and there is a reval of this, you will get everything started. Right now, everything is happening behind the scenes, and I'm behind the scenes, and every time this group, the Maihu, would come in, they have $500 quad of NID. They have 450,000 boxes of historical and heritage assets. Now some of these boxes, like the coffin box even. The gold coffin box is worth between $75–85 trillion. We have files from this of 10, 15, 20,000 of these, what are called black coffin boxes. There's blue, red and green. It's crazy stuff. Rob, are these containing bond notes, bearer bonds? Yes, but they're all radioactive. A lot of them are underground, under the sea, in caves, mountains and in rice fields. It's crazy, crazy stuff. If I wasn't involved in it, and someone told me this, I would say this is science fiction. It's so wild. Every time we come in with this stuff, the people would get on the phone with this and just start trashing the Sovereign Committee or the Global Recovery King. I mean saying unbearable, like you are from the dark, this, that, etc. Rob, how dare you take over what we have control of, what we've done the last 1,000 years. We are your lords and masters. How dare you? Laughter. One guy said, I'm on the phone with some compliance officer of the Sovereign Committee and he says, we own every asset on the planet. All of it. There isn't anything in the bank, there isn't any IQD, dinar, currency. We own all of them. All of them. Rob, is he the guy called the Mahu? No, this is another group. I've had 3 different conversations with groups representing these historical and inherited assets in the IQP. Wild people. Say you come in and you try to buy the IQD. You're using our money and we'll have you arrested. What? And the compliance officer starts laughing and says, if this is true and you control all the money in the world and you have all the assets and own everything, why are you talking to us? Seriously, why are you talking to us? Rob, I have a question for you, just historically from what I'm looking at. The way that the big people make a lot of money on the wars is when they go into a country and make the wars artificially and they know they're going to be created. The first things to happen are they go to World Bank and NATO and they say, we're going to devalue these countries' money like the dong or the dinar. And when the war's over, they revalue the money up and they all make a lot of money. That game has been played a lot and it seems the military was involved and it seems they got a hold of these plates and they're creating so much Iraqi dinar. So much of it is fake. It's like stealing. It's devaluing the money of the people of Iraq who deserve to have the money to rebuild. How do we validate that all these NIDs are actually real and not created falsely and that they actually have the backing of the sovereign Iraqi government? That is actually fairly rudimentary. That is not really a difficult thing. And, first of all, what you are describing is not exactly what is happening. What is happening is they'll go into a country and they'll tell whoever's in leadership, look, we're targeting your company. You have assets that we want. You've got a choice. We'll either make you very rich and we're going to take care of your family and we'll, Rob, you hand it over to us or we'll create war. Yay. What we're going to do is, you cooperate with us and do what we ask or we will come in and we'll bring in the academy, or the old Blackwater, now academy, or regular army and we're going to create chaos in your country and then we're going to put in another regime and we're going to kill everybody in your family and you and all the people in the government. Are you going to play ball or not? And that's basically how they do it. Then to go back to your question, how do we know which is real and which is not? It's that simple. Central Bank of Iraq has. They have all the documentation of how the Iraqi dinar. Basically what happened. In fact, I'm writing something right now to someone who has a file of $620 quad. And this is the question. This happens to be someone in the military in the Philippines. Dear Mr. _ please forgive my assumption. As a member of the military, an officer who's tasked with the safekeeping, we need to establish that the ownership of the NICD has been legally passed on to you. I understand the IQD and the military must have orders to verify that you are the signatory holder. The questions are as follows. 1. Global transaction which caused the Central Bank of Iraq to be shifted from NICD. This will be on the shipping documents. These will be on the spring instructions. Do you have these documents? If not, do you have papers like a bill of sale? Bank accounts showing deposits, SDR, In all these cases, documents have to show where the clients bought the IQD. Please note that the SDRs are always signed by a bank with numbers, not executives. Another possibility is that the title was passed to the military and the military to document the ownership has been transferred to these military documents for safekeeping. We need to document the ownership being transferred to the officers. In essence, what we are doing, Rob, tracking down the Iraqi government actually okayed the purchase of these notes. TR, that's correct. And then you think of barcodes and tax codes. When people trying to blow this past us, we don't want to give you our PIN codes, barcodes and passcodes. We don't want to, because we'll take it and use it in a trade underscore. That's a lie because the US is not allowed any historical assets or any currencies that are tier 1 to go into a trade file. All of these are obfuscation. These are people that. I just had a call from a princess who's part of the Spanish King Collins and the Romanovs, the Russians, and she came in and said her name is Princess E. She comes here and says, I need to know. I'm dealing with the elders since I was 13 years old. I've been underscore and this and this. Now I'm 71 and I look like I'm 30. All this crap. I want to go directly to the Sovereign Committee and talk to them. You need to get out of the way and take care of me. I'm going. Oh, gee, that's really nice. Thank you very much. Rob, oh you're so young, can you send a photo and who does your makeup? Haha, TR, all I do is, I just say, this is great. Here's the deal, here's our package. When you fill it out, you give us the barcodes, int codes and passcodes. She calls me back and says, I can't give you this. I've been talking to the elders and the elders say I should never do that. Bring it to underscore. I see, so you want us to go to someplace where you designate. We don't know what you have. We don't know where you got it. We don't know if you own it. We have no confidence. We don't know what it's worth. Rob, I can see the PIN, the secret codes being reluctant to be released, but if they can give enough evidence. TR, fine. The PINs, are not worth anything, Rob. Rob, then you tell them, in your fact sheet obvious you don't know enough about it. TR, understand what's going on. Why are we buying this stuff? This stuff has a lien on the gold and the heritage and the historical assets. By us buying it, we're removing those liens. That's all that's happening, but the currency itself has no value. TR, so you're basically trying to clean up the world's financial mess. TR, that's exactly what we're trying to do, Rob, pay up all of the debts that are supposedly owned, but does that give these criminals more money? TR, no. No. Here's what's happened. She's sitting there telling us that her grandpa was part of the old Federal Reserve System. I'm thinking to myself, lady, do you think that I would do anything to help you? You're part. Rob, you're part of the criminal activity on the planet. We'd like to know where your uncle is so we can arrest him soon. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking. That's how I am. If someone is shady and I call them on it right up, and I'm willing to listen to your story why you're not shady, and if you've been shady, you step down and you have to abdicate because of your past criminal activity. We'll forgive you, but hand over the keys. TR, here's the really crazy stuff. We're doing some secret underscore bonds. And these bonds are worth $20 billion. We have 111,583 that. INSP. You know. Take that times by $20 billion and we're in the $2.20 squad number. Now how can we fill a transaction like that when the US is saying, the Fed is saying, that the float is $11 trillion? That's how much money is in the system floating around. We're going to do a transaction $2.20 squad. How can they keep the lid on that if that transaction goes through? They can't. And that's been the problem. I've done several transactions and you know what they do, you can have $200 million in your account but everything else has to be off balance sheet. Then when you try to access with funds that you've theoretically made, they won't let you. They fleece you. That's what's going on. Rob, You need to record them when they say that and get them in positions, and someone needs to hold the screws to these guys, some honest people. I guess they just pay the head of the FBI $2 million and he'll send his henchmen out and arrest you. That's how they run it. They use strong arm. That's exactly what they've done in the past, and now the Chinese are saying, nope, we're going to do these transactions anyway. As the Sovereign Committee, we have our own sovereign bank and we're doing these transactions, right now. We're telling the CC, you show us how you got this, and we'll fund this deal by the end of the week. That's what we're doing. Rob, who have they funded so far or not yet? Oh yeah, they've funded people. Rob, are these people kind of like you, doing good with them now? Are movements being made? No. Who do you think got funded? Do you know how much money Obama has in Europe right now? Rob, you mean him personally? Yay, why would they fund him? Because they will let it happen. Rob, that's a Khazarian, Jewish. Yes, it is the Khazarian, Jewish Zionazi. Yes. Rob, so they gave it to him so he'll be a good boy and do what they want. Yes. That's why they've done it. How's he going to explain how he got it? If he gets out of office and he steps out of line, how will he explain how he got the money? Rob, they just throw him to the wolves if he gets out of line. Look what they're doing to the Clintons. The Clintons are out there to the max. Neo-Nazi. They have their foundation, and if they even blink that they're doing something that they don't want, they'll throw them to the wolves in a heartbeat. Rob, I've always said that he's mind-controlled. It's very sad. What are the Chinese saying? You've been talking to them. What are they saying? Rob, I'm talking to supposed representatives. They don't say anything. That's the whole point. My last interview was the best one I did with them. I really held the ambassadors 2 feet to the fire. I said, who are these royal bloodlines? Why don't they come forward with their plan to heal the planet? Why should we trust them? They maintain that they've controlled the world's finances for thousands of years. They told one of them, the dollar bill, evil side, looks as the Great Pyramid as the slaves below and the all-seeing eye as the cabal, and the, supposedly, the representative of the reptilian, royal Anunnaki bloodline of the elders says the all-seeing eye is the cabal. He said, they are our slaves and we are above them. I told this guy, why are you representing these people that the cabal are slaves? Where does that put the rest of humanity, below the slaves? To be fair to the ambassador, he wants these answers too. They said they tried 140 years with the bad guys and it didn't work out. If they've been controlling it for thousands of years, there's been just as many atrocities attributed previously by their proxies or royal people. I poked a dragon and I said, why should we trust them? Well, some of them are changing, is the explanation. We don't need them to change. We need them to step back and hand the keys over to humanity. I see a one world trust with a series of regional public trusts handled by a series of M1s, who will have all accounts open for scrutiny at all times. Anyone can look, and if anyone violates that trust and anyone tries to do anything with the money, that's the highest level of treason, and upon being found guilty, will be punishable by death. That's my theory. Put it on the table. Create a series of transparent public trusts that will allow these programs to go through with tiers, or circles of importance. And saving human life is number one. Food, water, shelter to the people of the world that need these basic human needs so desperately. Some people want to stay indigenous. Can you imagine, Rob, what would happen if people in US saw a transaction go down that was $2.2 quadrillion when we're told that the float with the US is $11 trillion? We're told the richest man in the world is Bill Gates at $84 billion, which is chump change to most of the stuff I'm doing. What do you think people will start to think if they saw the kind of transactions that I work on? Rob, you'd have to explain that to the people with experts like Max Kaiser and other unknowns in high and light forces who can really explain this, the old system. The public has to be educated, and that's what I'm hoping. When the money comes, we can create a station. We can create these educational forums that would be interesting, like high-level National Geographic or History channels that's not skewed to some manipulation, high levels of truth. Did you see the movie Short yet? It's the movie about the fallen Wall Street. Yes, I did see it. The Big Short. That was well done. Rob, I noticed in the audience, people actually, instead of getting up, they were actually letting it sink in. There's much educational stuff. Obviously, it's been Hollywood up. That is like old hat. I mean, if people knew what I was working on. I don't even care to tell my family, Rob. They would have me taken away in a rubber suit. Well, what have you been doing today, Dad? Well, I'm working on a 650 quad transaction at $10. It's going to be 6.2 quintillion. That's what I've been doing. What have you been doing? What? Rob, I've been shopping for some Jimmy Choos with my wife in Bel Air. What is Cobra saying? What is he saying? Rob, Cobra, his feeling is that at this point with humanity and all the infighting and the control, that it really. His feeling is it has to be a divine intervention of sorts on the technological level, because the bad guys are backed up by the hostile aliens. They've been in control of the world, and they're in control of the world's computer system, banking system. There's no way humans can control with ETs dropping links and all this stuff in outer space. The good guys need to come in and take the rug out from under them, then hand it over to who they feel is trustworthy and let the Earth people deal with it, but they'll come in like the police force and stop the bad guys and then go. Those bad guys don't have access. The new system is here. We'll watch it. We'll be your security and you guys are going to run it on your own, and this is our suggestion for your system, but you guys have to do it. I think that's what the Reno thing is about, redialing the world's economy honestly and fairly and justly to the whole world, at the same time making allowance for retribution for all the destruction that's been done to the innocent countries like the Philippines and Mexico and South America and Africa. They've been plundered. They have to be restored onto a par equal to their brethren of the world. And then move forward. That last part is my thing, Kiar. You know what happens? I'm doing this, Rob, 18 hours a day, and I'm not kidding. I'm talking to people from all over the world, and sometimes I just need to go someplace and pick a place and be allowed to go and not be exposed. Rob, I can relate. I spent almost 3 years on the computer. Almost 12-15 hours a day. I don't know what the answer is. I can tell you that I don't know how. And then there's these gigantic transactions going on that are so huge they're going to change the world. Really change the world. Rob, they've been holding on. Since the 70s this attempt has been made. 45 years. They seem pretty arrogant. Certain things are coming down. At the same time there's nothing going forward really. Obama gets his money. It's all up in the air. What are your guys in the Sovereign? It seems like they're good guys in the white suits, white hats trying to do a good thing, but they really don't have any enforcement arm. It seems like they're a group that obviously people are listening to and contacting as having some abilities. Who's put them in a position of power? It's kind of historical. The position of the power is that they held a lot of the world's assets, and so now what is happening is they've come back into their power again. And now what's happening is you have this faction of. You are replacing the old system with the new system. Is the new system better than the old system? That's the question. The questions is the wealth going to be put back into the world? $11 trillion. We're working on transactions in quintillions. I'm working on the septillions. Septillions. That's 27 O's. Rob, wouldn't that deflate the money? No, on the contrary. It does just the opposite of that. It shows that there is wealth beyond measure. We've been led down the. They've taken 99% of all the money and they've taken it in the SSP, secret space program, in the Black Ops. Rob, death and destruction and vaccinations and underground bases. controlling the entire system. And it's cost them what, $5 billion a day to pay everybody off and keep the system in place? You start taking away their ability to generate those funds and they'll run out of money pretty quick. Rob, have they done that? TR, yay, they've done that. They're doing that right now. Rob, eventually they have nothing. They can't keep the system afloat and they'll go in and arrest them. TR, that's exactly. The system is going to implode. The question is, when you have these other manageable assets that have gone off planet and now they come back on planet and there's wealth beyond measure. No one needs to be impoverished anymore. I've seen it. I've seen the actual physical proof of this. Now what happens is when people realize that there's unbelievable wealth and they realize that they've dumbed us down, use GMOs, they use chemtrails, vaccinations, they've taken over our educational system. They have. Rob, pharmaceutical industries, withheld health, nuclear power and on, TR, and you know what? It's very few people that are doing this. So when people wake up and they aren't paying them anymore, is someone going to go and start shooting people when he's not getting paid to do it? No, they're not going to do it anymore. They're bleeding their resources. They're taking away their drug money. They're taking away the money from the pharmaceutical industry. Slowly but surely they're strangling them versus Cobra, his program, which is we're going to come in and ETs are going to shut down all these systems. They're going to shut down the matrix system, the grid system. They're going to get rid of the computer system. Rob, no, they're going to control the SWIFT and the banking Rothschild system where they run money around and switch it from bank to bank. And all that is going to be shut down and their access to it. Grid stays up, cell phones. The bad guys will try to destroy it. They may be successful. Project Doom to destroy gas facilities and to create chaos if they don't get their way. That's their threat. They've got dirty bombs in different cities. The Khazarian. All that stuff. I think all that is going to be handled. I'm looking forward for clarity on what the new system is. I'd like to hear it from the sovereigns if they have a plan. Is it like I said, they're going to have a bunch of these M1s which will designate M2s that will be watched and everyone has to? I think they have to have a transparent system where they share with each nation and say, we're going to give your country this money and if your people don't do it right you have to elect someone new. How does that work? I think what it comes down to is, well, I think it's a combination of many things, Rob. I don't think it's one thing. The way they've controlled the world is through finance. Now when that leg is removed, then people don't feel. When they feel that their security is under attack, they're going to want change, and, unfortunately, the programming and the mind control and the matrix system, the scalar waves, and all this stuff. It has to come from above, and it has to come from below. You need both to happen. You need to take the system down, and then you need to take the system that's here and recalibrate it and make it open and honest and straightforward and transparent. All that is necessary. Rob, does your committee have a plan for that? Yes, there are plans for that. Rob, well, that's wonderful. If they can articulate it in an anonymous way, I'd be happy. The world needs that. There are all these funds that are happening. 80% of these monies that are going to come out are going to have to go into projects. 80%. When you have one project, one entity that has 27 zeros out and 80% of that has to go into projects and they have been working on this for 40 years. Rob, I know. There's some good guys in there. When all the suppressed technologies come out, we'll learn that people have replicators. When they have clean water, when they have shelter, when the planet starts getting cleaned up, when their Maslow's hierarchical needs are resolved and people go from limited to full consciousness, then you're going to have. I see change. It's a spiritual thing and it's a physical thing. Yay, that's a good point. I call it spirit and physical dancing together. That is the only way it's going to work. It requires both. Not just one or the other. Rob, that's a good part of it. Most people just focus on the material. You and I have a way of transformation through Kriya Yoga. Have you seen the new movie Awake on Yogananda? TR No, I haven't seen it. Rob, go on Netflix. It's an incredible movie of him. What a saint he was, really a beautiful story he was. I want to go back. My news reporter guy wants to go back. You said you've seen incontrovertible proofs of the sovereigns. Have they opened some of the coffins for you and you've seen it and they're working for the good? TR, yes. We're doing military operations and taking out 20,000 coffin boxes out of the Philippines in the next few weeks. Rob, don't tell me when or where. TR I couldn't tell you. I don't know myself. Rob, then what's the deal? Then they can lay it down and make things happen? TR, here's what's going on right now. As the Sovereign Committee, we are putting a huge emphasis on major files. I'm talking $50 quad up. We really want files 1008,000 quad on IQD. That's our first priority. Then we're taking back the coffin boxes, black, green, gold coffin boxes, then comes the farmer boxes, then come the Santa Patella, then the plum boxes. 7 golden guns, etc. All this stuff is going to happen. The currencies are going to reset. All of this is inevitable. I can't tell you exactly when it's going to go. Rob, I understand it will all fall together in a certain moment. I'd like to think Cobra is partially right that the divine forces come in and hold the space and allow it to happen and then hand it over to humanity. And with their higher contacts hidden from the average person, it can't be tempered. It will be as hard for us to change it. And it will be harder for anyone to mess with the transparency once it's happened. That's what I believe you guys can accomplish. TR, I believe that will happen Rob, exactly like that. I quit worrying about when or how. I just know it's inevitable. That's all I can tell you. Rob, good. On one level of worrying for the planet you care or are concerned, but you can't obsess or freak out. A lot of people are freaking out because they're in hard times. I hope continues to flourish until the team or whoever. There's a lot of people rooting for you guys. We're looking forward to something. TR, I want this. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. Sometimes you just got to go for it. Enough is enough. Yay, we can wait a little bit longer, but why? Why should we wait longer? Let's just get this done. I'm really hopeful. Hopeful is a word I'm going to use that something is going to break loose this month. Rob, I hope so too, and this month even, huh? TR, this month. I'm hopeful this month something's going to happen this month. Rob, it's nice to hear an update from you. It's good to know that there's some good guys in the Chinese faction that is not related to this mythological reptilian lineage. Is this what you call the Maihu? Are they the good guys? TR some of them. Rob, some of them are not. They've had this myth that they're ruling. You haven't heard that they're playing this reptilian part. They've just ruled forever. TR, no, no. They've not. I think like anybody, any other race on the planet, what we've experienced, there's good guys and bad guys. All I can tell you is if you take the light and put it back together, you get light. It's inevitable this is going to happen. The question is how quickly it can happen. Then you get change. Then you'll be surprised at how quickly when they start getting prosperity, will change their mindset. It's much more difficult to suppress someone than when they're let loose and they have prosperity. People blossom. Rob, I think that's true. I think that's the reason the system was put into place. And then we go into this transition of asset-backed and then we go into higher dimensional faith-based system once everyone has their needs. And we get our new system infrastructure up and education system. We're looking at a big process here for the planet, but I think it's something really good. TR I've seen some things where we're not only going into _ but all the way up to the 12th dimension, which is right before you go into the Kunda ray field, the 1315 next. When you get into the 12th dimension then the archons and the controls no longer have any sway. It's over. Yes. And I believe there are many dimensional timelines going on right now, all the way from the 3rd up until the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Maybe only the 7th now. And when as you get nearer the top of the spiral, it goes faster and faster and faster. Rob, you were talking about the spiral going faster and faster in a multi-dimensional timeline. In essence, with the average spiral it's much, much larger at the base and towards the apex, the top-end spiral. It gets smaller and smaller and goes faster and faster. We're now at that juncture where we're getting faster and faster because we're moving higher and higher and higher, and there's going to be a point where the dark will just not have sway anymore. Rob, I really appreciate your time in sharing with me today. That's the most positive conversation we've had yet, and I want to thank you for the information. Can I share parts of it, no names and stuff? Absolutely. Anything monetary you can share. It's not a problem. Rob, I might hold off for a little bit. Maybe I can type out some stuff and share some of the information there. By all means. I'm happy to give this, because I'm really feeling that sometimes it's darkest before the dawn, and I really believe that we're very, very close. And as I said, the financial system, it's inevitable. It is happening and it will happen. Rob, well, thank you. Thank you. I think that it's a positive story right now. I really, really have never felt more confident, more calm about things. I don't feel anymore that we're going to do 1 step forward and 2 steps back. I believe that is over. I think it's going to be 2 forward and 1 back, then it will be 3 and 4. That's what it feels like to me. Rob, I hope you're right. I know God has a will for this, so there's going to be a way for this at some point. As people wake up to the truth to this information, know that there are forces behind working on this, the better off we'll be. Thank you, Reed. I want to say this one last thing. I believe Cobra. I've had some time with _. I believe that all sorts of people have a piece of the puzzle, exactly, and I believe that Cobra has his piece and Ben Fulford has his, and Corey Good has his, and so has David Wilcock. Rob, everyone's in a certain bandwidth. I believe Cobra's spot on with all the Agarthan technology and certain aspects of the takedown of the Cabal and the Matrix system. I think he's impeccable there. He's a normal Earth human doing an extraordinary job. Different people have different views and different bandwidths. I think it's important we don't attack. Corey Good has a tremendous amount of information that is really waking people up on how we have really been kept in the dark of the technologies that are out there and how people have been used as slaves, the elitism that has been taking place that will really allow people to move forward when the truth is revealed. A lot of people will have had a background. This is what I was trying to say, when you realize that there's such a small percentage of the true wealth of this planet that has gone back to humanity. And when humanity starts to see the incredible abundance that is here and that it is in the form of the financial system, first of all, they're going to have a sigh of relief, and then the next thing is going to happen is, they're going to go, what? I was surviving on this. When the wake-up happens, first people are going to be in disbelief, then we're going to go, wow, really? Did that really happen? And that is what is going to get everybody in the face. That's why the financial system is so important and why I put so much focus on it. I'm a spiritual being. I'm a multidimensional being. I don't really care about the financial system per se, but I know it's been the control point. It's how they've kept people in line. When people start getting the prosperity, they will start waking up very quickly, very quickly. Rob, I'll look forward to the free energy and the high technologies. That will be fun, and at the same time we need to stay grounded in the sacredness, not give us more time to be crazy, but more time to reflect on God and nature and to do our Kriya Yoga and listen to the spirit in our lives and to have communication with our family. Thank you so much, TR. God bless you, brother. Keep in touch. TR. Bye.